Minneapolis pledges to dismantle its police department. How will it work? A veto-proof council majority says the city will move to a community-based public safety model, but what will that entail? 9 members of Minneapolis City Council have vowed to dismantle the city's police department, which was responsible for the death of George Floyd, and replace it with a new community-based system of public safety. Efforts to reform the police have not been sufficient, said Lisa Bender, the Minneapolis City Council president. She said, "Our commitment is to end policing as we know it and to recreate systems of public safety that actually keep us safe." Jeremiah Ellison, a Minneapolis councilman, tweeted that the city will dismantle the police department, and when we're done, we're not simply gonna glue it back together, he wrote. "We are going to dramatically rethink how we approach public safety and emergency response." It would have been almost unthinkable for any major U.S. city to disband its police department just a few weeks ago, before the harrowing death of Floyd, who was videoed dying on the ground as a Minneapolis police officer knelt on his neck. Minneapolis is yet to provide any details of what a new law enforcement system may look like, although Bender conceded there will still be a police department in the short term. She said, however, that most 911 calls are related to medical emergencies and mental health problems, which will be prioritized in funding. In practice, this will probably involve diverting police funding to treatment services such as mental health counselors and drug addiction experts. While a smaller police force may remain, it won't be the default body interacting with the community at the time of crisis. Stung by outrage over the police's repeated killing of people, particularly African Americans, many forces have brought in body-worn cameras for officers and instituted training to improve community relations. Critics say these measures have been woefully inadequate, however, as evidenced by the continued instances of deaths caused by police, as well as examples of police brutality during arrests and protests. Police officers accused of killing people of color have routinely avoided being charged and convicted over these deaths. Some cities have attempted deeper reforms, such as Camden in New Jersey, once considered the most dangerous in America. Camden made a shift to community-based policing in 2013, dissolving the local police department and using police from the local county instead. Daily non-crisis interactions between police and the community went up, training on de-escalating situations was rolled out, and firm rules on using force as a very last resort, virtually unheard of in the U.S., were installed. Officers are also required to intervene if a colleague breaks these edicts. The result has been stark. Complaints over excessive police force in Camden have dropped 95% since 2014. But expanding these reforms across the US 18,000 police forces is a major challenge due to widespread resistance to change from pro-police legislators and powerful police unions. The US is somewhat of an outlier in its policing and sentencing compared with other wealthy nations. 6 times more people die in police custody in the US than Britain, on a per capita basis, with American police fatally shooting around 1,000 people in 2018 compared with just 11 such deaths in Germany and 8 in Australia. US police conduct far more arrests than their counterparts in other rich nations, with black men 3 times more likely than white men to die in these interactions. The justice system also condemns more people to prison, too. The US has more than 2 million incarcerated people, which represents the world's largest prison population.